Hi.
Hello guys, if you're brand new to my channel, my name is Nikki, and this is my book nook. Today we are talking about The Midnight Library by Matt Haig. This book has been very much like every freaking book I read, very much talked about on Book Talk, on BookTube, not as much as some others, but I was still very drawn to it because I'm very into like books, movies, things that just discuss like the meaning of life, like our purpose, the point of existence, like what happens when we die, like that whole concept is just really interesting to me. So when I first heard about this book, I knew that it was something I was eventually going to want to read, and now is the time. I was just in the mood, I was ready for it, and I was not disappointed. I'm not gonna do any spoilers in this video because honestly, I feel like this is a book that's pretty easy to talk about without giving it away. And as always, if I like a book, I want you guys to go and read it. So yeah, let's just get into it. So this book, The Midnight Library, it follows a woman named Nora Seed, and the book basically starts out at the time that Nora has decided to end her life. She has, as we read in the book, like a very just crappy 48 hours, so many things crashing down at once, so many like life-changing, life-altering things. She's feeling very hopeless, and throughout the book, we understand more about why she's decided to make this decision, but basically, yes, she decides to take her own life. Once she has made that decision, she ends up waking up in this place that is a library. She sees her elementary school librarian teacher, and she basically explains to her that Nora is now in the Midnight Library. Time is kind of frozen, like she looks at her watch and it is exactly midnight, and she is just surrounded by books all around her. And the librarian, Mrs. Elm, pretty much explains to her that this library is full of versions of her life. Every possible version of her life that could have existed, from her making certain decisions that would have led to like alternate realities, they're all housed in this library, and every book is a different version of her life if Nora had made these different decisions. Which already, that concept to me is just like, oh, just alternate realities, just the way that like you making decisions can just change your whole life. I just think that concept is so cool. So basically, Miss Elm explains to her that like now she gets the chance to pick these different versions and see what her life would have been like. And if she finds a version that she likes, like she basically can insert herself into that life and continue to live. Nora, obviously, this isn't a normal situation of death. Like Nora has like chosen to die. So at first, of course, she like doesn't want to participate, but Miss Elm ends up convincing her. She shows her this book in the library called like the Book of Regrets. She starts going through like all the things in her life that she has regretted, like choices that she wishes she would have made. Nora is 35, so she's not like old by any means, but she's very much like an adult. She's at that age where people like, you know, are married and are having kids and have kind of accomplished things, like are at a decent spot in their career, and she just doesn't feel like she doesn't have any kids, she's not married, she's kind of been working at the same shop for a very long time, and we just start to see like things in her life that Nora like wishes she would have done. You know, like growing up, like she was really into swimming. She was a really great swimmer. That was something her and her dad bonded over, but she ended up quitting because she became really passionate about music. And you know, in high school, she was a part of a band with her brother and one of her best friends, and they were gonna make it big. Like they had the possibility of getting a record deal, but Nora chose not to pursue that, and because of that, her relationship with her brother was really strained. And you know, like other things, like she wished she would have gotten a degree. She ended up getting out of a relationship right before she was supposed to get married. After that, she was planning to move to Australia spontaneously with her best friend, but ended up again backing out of that decision. Like there's just so many things that have happened throughout her life, so many chances she didn't take that she felt kind of landed her where she is now. And so throughout this book, it's her basically going through this midnight library, undoing all those decisions, like seeing what her life would have been. And inevitably, you know, in every single life scenario, like because you make decisions, like it's a ripple effect, like other things happen, and it's so interesting to see. I'm very much a person, I've gotten so much better about it in the last 6 months to a year, but I've spent so long just forever being stressed about life, just like, oh my God, like I don't want to be like on my deathbed thinking like, what if I would have done this? Like, oh, like I just always feel like I can be doing more, or I could be achieving more, just be more successful. Like I always feel like I'm a person that like, I want to make something of myself. I want to leave something behind, and like, I just want to be known. Like it just very, like I've always been that way. So I feel like I relate to this book a lot in like a lot of Nora's feelings, and just I totally understand the concept of like living and death and all of that. It's just very scary, it's very wild, it's very like mind-bending, mind-blowing, and this is just very much a book that like, it helps you see that, it helps you like kind of appreciate your life. The ending is like not what you expect. Like you keep thinking throughout the book, you're like, okay, I feel like this is like predictable, like it's gonna be like this, and then you're like, oh wait, no, it's gonna be like this, and like just seeing all the different lives and the way that like her life would have changed if she would have made these decisions. It was just super interesting to read. It was very thought-provoking. You left it in the end feeling very much like, wow, like I can just, the possibilities are endless. I can take on the world. If you watched the Pixar movie Soul and you liked that, you will love this book. It's a really kind of similar concept, just again, the whole like, what is the meaning of life? Like what makes you happy? Like what defines success? All of those sort of things. So I would totally recommend this book. It was a solid 4-star for me. It wasn't like the best thing I ever read, but again, just really thought-provoking, really different from anything that I've read recently. And I really liked it. If you guys read this book, I would love to know your thoughts about it. I don't want to give any spoilers here, but go ahead and throw all the spoilers you want in the comments and we can discuss. Yeah, were you happy with the ending? Did you think it was satisfying? I know that like a lot of people won't think the ending is satisfying, but I think, again, not giving it away, but I kind of love endings like that. I love things that are very just like up to interpretation, like a little open-ended, like, I don't know. Just tell me y'all's thoughts. I would love to hear it. And yeah, that is it for me today. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see y'all later. Bye.